Hi everyone, I'm Abhinav Gupta from DepX, and today we are going to take a look at how DepX scales data centers with automated migration. Now, the way that DepX works is primarily it is an application that runs on premises. It parses and reads all the data from the customer's source cloud and then seamlessly migrates it to the destination. Now we'll go through the steps one by one. The first step is, of course, when a customer is onboarded into a data center and the customer requests the data center's team to migrate their existing cloud resources in AWS, Azure, or GCP to the data center's cloud. The next step is when the data center's team they go to DepX, they tell DepX that hey, I want to migrate customer 1, customer 2, and customer 3 to my own cloud, and then DepX does the rest. DepX first of all maps all the resources in the source cloud and then seamlessly migrates all the data to the destination. The idea is pretty simple. You come to the DepX platform, you select your source. So in this case, I am moving from AWS to Azure. I'll select Azure as my destination. You can of course come here, add a CSP, follow the steps right here, click next, populate all of these entries, and then you can click on the submit button to add your CSP to DepX. But once you have selected your source and your destination, you can just click on the migrate button and the magic starts. You can see that we have started our migration right here. At this specific stage, DepX is mapping all the resources in the source cloud, which we will see in just a minute. Alright then, now that we have mapped all the source resources, we can go through them one by one. We can see that we have 3 compute instances running in two separate regions. We have about 6 buckets, databases, VPCs, subnets, and security groups. These pretty much cover all the resources I have right now in my source cloud. Right now, DepX is in the process of migrating each and every single one of the resources one by one. You'll see those updates on the right side here, or you can just click on the view logs button and see all the logs. Let's just wait for a while. Once DepX is done migrating all the resources, we'll go through them in the destination as well. And perfect. So now that we have all the resources in the destination, now we can go through them one by one and compare what the configurations that we have. So let's say if we have our compute, so we have mapped T2 micro to standard B1MS, the same for all the other EC2 instances that we have. We'll get into how we can change these mappings pretty soon, but for now these are the default mappings that are available on DepX. The same thing goes for the region as well. So AP South 2 is mapped to South India. And similarly for the buckets, all the buckets that were in the source now exist in the destination. You can see that there's a link here directly which mentions which bucket is linked to which one in the source and the destination. So this way you have complete visibility over what you are migrating. Now the best part is that you can not only see the logs, so all the logs are available right here in front of you for all the resources. You can also download the logs. So this will download a text file with all the logs of the migration. Similarly, you can also download a report of the migration itself, so you can go through the entire migration. You can share this migration report and get a complete visibility over all the migration itself. Now coming to what other things do we have in DepX, right? So one of the things that most of the data centers really find helpful is the dashboard, which gives the complete overview of the entire organization. Currently this dashboard is representing some dummy data, but of course this will represent your organization's migration processes. So few of the things that we can see in the dashboard already is that we track the total number of migrations. This metric tracks how many resources were successfully migrated versus how many of them failed on average across all the migrations in the last 30 days. Similarly, what was the average duration per migration? We have a few filters here where you can put in the time range, the resource type. So if you only want to see the metrics for all the compute resources that were migrated, so you can see all of those resources, all of those metrics right here. Similarly, for the if you want to see all the migrations that were conducted from AWS to all the destinations, you can just click on the metric right here and you will be able to see that. But you can also select the destination as well. So all of these filters are available for you to use and for you to get a complete picture of all the metrics and all the metrics of the migrations in your organization. uh, Next, we have some settings where you can map various resources to one another. So the resources that are available in the source, how will they be mapped in the destination? Here in the in this specific section, you can see that we are tracking, or rather we have the AWS to Azure mappings. So how will an EC2 instance be mapped to Azure? So in that case, we have either Azure Virtual Machine or Azure Container Instance. For now, we only support Azure Virtual Machine. The same goes for all the other settings that you see in front of you. The same thing goes for our mapping. So in the North America region, how is Azure mapped to AWS, which is mapped to GCP? So you can come here, select any of the locations that you want to select, and then East US will now be mapped to US East 2 instead of US East 1. Now coming to a few policies that we have, so this will define how how migrations take place inside of your organization. So one of the policies that we have is whether migration needs an approval or not. So once the mapping is done, DepX will ask for your permission to continue the migration, or start move basically to start moving all the resources to the destination. The same thing for auto return failure, backup before migration, and validate after migration. So basically check that the resource is up and running, and basically all the services in that compute are also up and running. You can obviously play with these sliders for each specific option that you have right here. Then we have the notifications and some advanced settings. So this covers all the functionalities that DepX has to offer on migration.